Welcome to Evimeró. Welcome to Evimeró, translated in English as Prosper the Mind. Prosper the Mind. This communique is to launch us into the vision of this platform. It is the fact that due to pressures and needs of life, we so much as people focus on our financial prosperity and catering for our physical health, while neglecting our mind, which is also very, very sacrosanct that what we attain prosperity in what of the mind. It's very important for our mind to prosper. When we neglect this part of us because we so much focus on our physical prosperity, that's our health, going to the gym, exercising, and doing a lot of things, eating food, doing cardio, and all these things, then we neglect our mind. We focus on our prosperity of our career, neglecting our mind, which leads to prosper also. How and what do I mean by the mind prospering? First of all, we need to know what the mind is. We know that as it's a fact that as humans we are traveling in nature, that we have spirit, soul, and body. Now we know what our spirit is, that is what we use in communicating. Our immaterial self that we use in communicating with God, that's the creator. These are bodies, our physical body that we see as people that we use in conversing with one another. But our soul is what contains what our mind, our will, our emotions, and our conscience. Now this will, the emotions and the conscience, they are all being controlled by the mind actually. Because the mind is where the information is processed, that feeds this will, that feeds our emotions, that also feeds our conscience. The mind is the seat and the quarters of what? Or decision seat for the body, which is encapsulated inside the soul. So anytime you hear someone talking about your soul, you're basically talking about your mind, your will, your emotions, and your conscience. But these other parts of the soul are under the dictatorship of what of the mind. Now let's look at the ancient book of Nous, which is what the Bible. In 10 John 1 verse 2, it says that, 10 John 1 verse 2 says that, Beloved, this was Apostle Paul talking there, Beloved, I wish above all things, that thou mayest prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers, even as your mind prospers. The soul here, as I've said, we know what the soul encapsulates, that's the mind, the will, and code. The soul here is talking about our mind, our mindset. Because the mind is what actually drives other things to prosper. So whatever is fed to the mind is what proceeds what to the emotions, to the will, and to the conscience. Now what does it mean to prosper? I've defined what the mind is. Now what does prosper mean? Evimeró means what? Prosper the mind. What does now the prosper then what does it mean? When you check the Greek translation of prosper, prosper means what? To thrive. And to thrive means what? To grow healthily. To grow what? Healthily. That means as you want your body to be healthy, and you want your financial prowess to be healthy, you want your finance to be healthy, you want your career to be healthy, you should also desire that what? You should also desire for your mind to be healthy. Your mind to also be healthy. That's why Paul said very, very much that, Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper, that's financial prosperity, career prosperity. They now went further to say, and be in good health. That's the prosperity of your body, this physical body you use what? In communicating on earth here. Then the last one now said, even as your soul, that's your mind prosperous. Your mind prospers. We know the book of the Bible, Mark 8, says something about what does it profit a man to lose his soul and gain the whole world. The next verse now says something like, what can a man give in exchange for his soul? When the Bible says what does it profit a man to give his soul or to lose his soul, your soul can be lost while you're still here on earth. The Bible is not really talking about going to hellfire or not. It's talking about here on earth. You can lose your mind, you can lose your emotions, you can lose your conscience. You can also lose your will as a person. So that place in Mark 8 is not just talking about losing, going to hellfire or going to heaven. It's also talking about what on earth here, losing your mind, losing your intellect, losing your conscience, losing your will, losing your emotion as a person. You can lose those things when you are going in exchange or in search of certain things in life. Now remember in that place we just read, above all things, applying the fact that obstacles will come. Obstacles will come that will not want you to prosper in your mind. The same way diseases attack our body, that make us not have good health, then we look for ways to treat those diseases to make sure that our body comes into full function as healthy beings that we should be. That's how we are also to put the mind in consideration to make it healthy. When certain things come against our mind, to make our mind to be in a deplorable state, we need to make sure that above all things, above all obstacles that will come against our mind, that will make sure that our mind is in a prosperous state, our mind is in a healthy state. Our mind needs to be in a healthy state. In our career, in our day-to-day jobs, we face a lot of obstacles, but against these obstacles, we try so much, we use different methods to make sure that we still succeed in our career. That's the above all things there. Even as in our health too. So our mind too, we must make sure that our mind is in a place of success. Our mind is in a place of prosperity. Our mind is in a healthy state as a people. As a people. Now, what does a prosperous mind look like? Now, I've talked about what prosperity means and what the mind is also. Now, what does a prosperous, joining those two words, commemorating those two words together, what does a prosperous mind look like? A prosperous mind is a mind that grows away from negativity, that goes away from the negative thoughts, that instead of letting negative thought control his life, a prosperous mind doesn't allow negative thought to control his life. Instead, it controls one's negative thoughts and put them under subjection. A healthy mind is also a mind that is balanced mentally and emotionally. A healthy mind is a mind that is balanced mentally, emotionally as a person, that enables the person to contribute productively to this world that we live in. A person that is not in a healthy state in his mind cannot contribute positively to this world that we live in. So prosperity of the mind is so important for you to be able to contribute positively to this world. We all know that as human beings that we are, God has created us specially to be what of impact to our generation, to bring certain profits to our generation. God has created everybody. Everybody was put in a particular generation to profit that generation in one way or the other. Same as we see doctors in medicine field that find cure to different things. God put them on earth here, giving them a mindset or certain abilities and what talents that will make them to be able to benefit this generation that we are in at this point in time. If their minds are not in prosperous states, they will not be able to contribute to those things. If you go to the Bible, Hebrews 12 verse 1 says, we have a great cloud of witnesses around us. So we should put away every sin, every trouble that easily besets us, Now let us run towards the race that we set ahead of us. And it needs to be healthy. The mind will affect every other part of our body as trying to be now. If our mind is not in a good state, if our mind is not healthy, it will affect our spirit, it will also affect our body. So this is why the mind needs to be prosperous. Now let me just give you some properties of a prosperous mind. What are the properties of a prosperous mind? Number one, the prosperous mind has calmness in it. The prosperous mind is calm. The prosperous mind has peace in it. What does the prosperous mind have? The prosperous mind has clarity. The prosperous mind has clarity. The prosperous mind has compassion. The prosperous mind can be compassionate towards the next person, can be compassionate towards situations. The prosperous mind can concentrate. The prosperous mind can fix a goal and achieve that goal when it concentrates. The prosperous mind can concentrate. The prosperous mind is courageous. So I'll call them the 5 C's of a prosperous mind. Number 1, calmness. Number 2, clarity. Number 2, compassion. Number 4, concentration. Number 5, courage. I know these concepts seem very ambiguous and whatever, but these concepts will be explained further in our different communicators we communicate with you over the time. I said this before when I started that this particular vision is just to communicate the vision of this platform to us. So as we go deeper and deeper, we'll begin to expound on many of these principles and understand them better. Now, what are the hindrances of a prosperous mind? We all know, as I said, above all things, you must prosper. In your health, diseases will come against your body that will make your body not to be in a good state. Also, in our mind, we also have situations that come against our mind that makes our mind not to be in a good state. These are tagged as the hindrances of a prosperous mind, the hindrances of a healthy mind. What are those things that mitigates the good health of your mind? One of them is traditions. The traditions around you, the traditions you grew up on that can mitigate against the prosperity of your mind. Number 2, wrong religious beliefs. It's very painful to state the fact that many religious beliefs can actually mitigate against the prosperity of your mind as a person. Can mitigate against you having a prosperous mind, having a healthy mind. Another thing again is what? False societal upbringing. Many things going around in our society can also mitigate our mindset, mitigate against our prosperity of our mind, mitigate against the health of our mind. Number 4, parental decadence, mirror on the life of our offspring. The kind of lifestyle your parents live, the kind of way your parents train you. The Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. The kind of training your parents give you also can mitigate against the health of your mind. Number 5, negative experiences in life. Negative experiences, maybe rape, suicide, threats, attacks. Many of these things, many traumatic experiences in life can mitigate against the health of your mind. Another thing that can mitigate against the health of your mind is conforming to the ways of this world. When you try to conform to the norms the negative ways that people are doing things, try to conform to those ways, it can what affect your mind. Let me quickly remind us of this theory by John Locke. John Locke's theory of tabula rasa. We know the philosopher John Locke. He said that your mind is like a clean slate, a clean board at point of birth. That when you now go through life, the experiences you encounter in life now form how you react in life, form how you make decisions in life, form how you see life. Your philosophy in life is formed by what the experiences that occur in your lifetime. So every human being you meet on earth is a mindset, can be summed up as a mindset. Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. D, Mr. F, they are all different because of what they have, a particular mindset that differs according to different of who they are. But this mindset, whether Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C, Mr. D, anybody in Europe, anybody in Asia, anybody in Australia, anybody in any part of the world, is a mindset on its own. And under this vein of mindset, we can see that we can group them under two types of mindset. Number one, we have the failing mind. Everybody is a mindset. You have the failing mind, you have the average mind, and also have what? The prosperous mind, which is what the key focus of this platform, the prosperous mind. You have the failing mind, you have the average mind, and you have the prosperous mind. So every good you see in this world, everybody you see in this world emanates from the mind. Even when God created the world, he first thought in his mind to create the world before he brought out the world. We all know that the world, he said in the beginning was the word, and the word was the God, and the word was God. That's in John 1:1, saying, talking about Jesus Christ, that Jesus Christ is the word. Also know that Jesus Christ is the mind of God, the Father. Jesus Christ is the mind of God, the Father. So everything you see emanating now, the Bible says, and Jesus said in Genesis 1, let there be light, and God said let there be light, and what? There was light. He felt, before he said let there be light, he thought in himself that I want there to be illumination. He saw that there was darkness all over the deep of the earth, and he said let there be light, and there was light. Before anything materializes in this world, it is first thought of in the mind. Every good and bad in this world starts from the mind. So a failing mind will not produce a good thing. A failing mind will produce what? Bad things. And a prosperous mind will produce what? Good things. So the reason why we need our mind to be prosperous is because we want to what? Produce good things on this earth that we are brought in. We want to be of positive impact to our society. We want to be of positive impact to our generation. So for us to be of positive impact to our generation, we have our mind needs to be what? In a prosperous place, in a healthy place, before we can be of positive impact to this generation. So the vision statement of Evimeró, Nous, which is what? Prosper the mind, is what? To equip individuals in this generation with prosperous mind. I say it again, the vision statement of this platform is to equip individuals in this generation with prosperous mind. Not just giving you financial prosperity, not just giving you health prosperity, but what? Prosperous mind. But to focus on the prosperity of our mind. Now, what is our modus operandi? How do we tend to go about this prosperity of the mind? Number one, I've just put them down in bullet points. I told you that we will communicate better as we move down and grow in this communicate. We will communicate better and explain things more. The modus operandi of this movement is number one, introspection. I will explain this further. Introspection. Number two, truth analysis. Truth analysis, analyzing what is true and what is wrong. Number three, unlearning. After carrying out truth analysis, you say, okay, this is what is right and this is what is wrong. This is what I've been doing wrong, what I've been doing right. There, embrace the right one and let go of the wrong one. After truth analysis, the next thing is unlearning. When you find out what is wrong and what is right, you have to unlearn the wrong ones. And what the next one is what? Learning. Number four, learning. The number five is what? Understanding. After learning something, you must understand what you have just learned. And what? Then number six, you must transform by practicing those things. Transformation what? Through practice. Then after transformation through practice, you come to a case of what? A thriving mind, a prosperous mind, a healthy what? A healthy mind. So let me list them again. Number one, introspection. Number two, truth analysis. Number three, unlearning. Number four, learning. Number five, understanding. Number six, transformation or through practice. Number seven, prosperity or thriving or healthy mind. So as I said before, this is just a very short video to introduce us to this movement. Teachings and talks and different experiences will be passing through. We'll be taking these seven bullet points I just listed through different topics. We'll be bringing out topics that are common to our generation, issues that easily beset us as a generation, suicide, many things, masturbation, fornication, many things that affect us as a generation, money, finance, things that affect our mind, depression. Many of all these things will be discussed under this platform. In order to know what is right and what is wrong, and how we should put ourselves in a healthy place concerning many of these issues. And we bring a lot of people under this platform to talk, to share their experiences, to talk to us, to admonish us, people that are even wiser than me and a lot, to talk about a lot of things, just to want to put us in that state of prosperous mind, or to put us in a healthy state of mind. So teachings and talks will be posted in bits on this our Instagram page, but majority of our talks will be posted on our YouTube channel, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. The link and the name of our YouTube channel will be posted below. Of our page will be posted below. So I love you all. I want all of us in this generation to have a prosperous mind. It has been a serious burden in my heart to equip us with a prosperous mind as a generation. So that's why we're embarking on this journey, and I want us to embark on this journey together. So that, because we can't produce good things if we're not at a state of prosperity, at a healthy state in our mind. So it is very, very sacrosanct that our mind needs to be in a healthy place. We need to be in a healthy place of mind. I see people talking about mental health issues. Mental health issues. What do you need to do to come out of those mental health issues? What actually will put you in those mental health issues? You need to know. You need to know, so that you go back to what a prosperous place of mind. Evimeró, prosper the mind. So I love you all. Remain prosperous. I love you.